friends, let's take a look at Tezos versus Bitcoin and Tezos versus the dollar coin. My name is Rocky Outcrop. I have a target in mind for the subscriber number. If we could hit 152,000 subscribers by this weekend, it would be awesome. Currently, we're sat here at 1,499 subscribers. So we're not a million miles away from that 152,000 subscriber target. You could be a part of that story. Let's see if we can get there by this weekend. Plenty of time to do it. It's Wednesday today. That gives us at least a few days to get the remaining 150,001 subscribers to get us up to that number. That'd be cool if you'd be a part of that. I also have a like target for this video. If you could hit that like button, it'd be amazing. I have a like target of 752,000. I know that might be a bit much, you know, considering that normally you only get about 10 to 30 to 20 to 15 likes on a video max. But I just think we could maybe double or triple what we normally get, and that'll take us right up towards that target, you know, so why not? Let's see if we can do it. In yesterday's video, we spoke about the key things, you know, and I would highly recommend you go back and watch yesterday's video. It's very, very good. But we can also cover those over again now so that you know what we're looking for in the markets. Just real quick, these are the areas that we can look to beyond the areas that we're at the minute. If we move, if we move beyond this zone here at that 30,000 area towards the downside, of course, we're challenging that at the minute, as you can see. And that could be some sort of, I wouldn't want to say this is Adam and Evie because it's not really, but it could be a sort of downward channel or whatever on the go. But if we were to push beyond this area and put in a higher high and even then turn around, could be a higher high compared to this area, and even turn around at the resistance zone of the previous high, this could turn into a descending broadening wedge, which is of course a continuation pattern, which would be quite positive for the price action. Looking towards this high at 32,000, that would be the first area to look to. If we can move beyond that, then we're moving beyond our previous high. We'd probably be able to do that with having, this area here come down so low on the RSI and the Stochastics and the DMI and the MACD, where we put in this previous high just here, that we could actually probably do that and throw off the shackles of the divergence that we have on the go, because actually, there's a possibility that movements up towards this area could result in bearish divergence, as we saw between this high and this previous high over here on this upward movement on what the RSI, the DMI, and not the MACD. So 2 out of 4, but we did have it on the RSI, for instance, some bearish divergence there. So, that's the story. If we can get up towards this median line of this channel, be very strong. That'd be the 33,900 area. Movements beyond that up towards the top zone of this could take us up towards that 40,000 Satoshi level. That'd be very, very tasty. And overall, actually, what we have on the go is the potential for this to turn out as being a hidden bullish divergence low when looking at the previous low just here, and then where we are just now, having come in lower on the stochastics. If we did see the prices move down, we've got a lot of scope towards the downside, even as far down as 25,000 Satoshis, in order to stay fairly bullish on this thing, where that would offer up perhaps a really good buying opportunity. Overall, though, I'd rather see this stay within the sort of structure of this parallel channel with lows coming in no lower really than the 28,000 level. This is the Satoshi pairing, of course, the Bitcoin pairing. I'm now going to look at the dollar pairing. I just want to reiterate again, movements beyond this previous high would be very interesting, and that could be considered to be a swing failure in terms of the lows. And even if we retraced from the median line of this, that could turn this into a descending broadening wedge. We could also be fairly positive. And there's various other things, like everything we spoke about yesterday and the previous days. This is different content to yesterday. Yesterday was very, very good. And I've not really overlapped too much, so you can go ahead and watch that video as well if you want more information. Let's take a look at the dollar pricing. As you can see, I did a big old smeary mess on there, so I'll just get rid of some of that junk. I did talk about this sort of butterfly that I drew in. I know it looks fairly mad, and it is, of course, it's very mad, but that is still the same chat that we're looking for. Now, we've moved outside of the range of this descending wedge, which is a positive thing, but we haven't actually done it with any volume. As you can see here, there's none there, and we instead can look towards how this could actually just be a descending channel instead, a sort of a parallel channel towards the downside. You can see that quite clearly there. We speak about these all the time. Fake outs from falling wedges or rising wedges just turn into parallel channels. Be aware of that. This is where we are right now. Movements down below $3.26 would be fairly bearish. We're actually come down yet again today and yesterday and several times recently towards the 618 zone in that 325 area, seeing that the lows are below 330, really, where we have the 618 down to 320. Well, let's just get the numbers right on this. 336 down to 329. So right now, today today we came in there and did that yet again. And that's cool. That could all be fairly bullish for us if we do see the prices turn around and move towards the top side. We kind of consider like the resistance in the RSI area where we have our moving average. Moving up above that would be very, very good. I don't want to see us getting rejected by the neutral line again, at this point, because that could be kind of negative. And then maybe we're looking at moving beyond this zone. And if we did, then 290 could be your, sub $3 could be where you were looking at. Now that could obviously be a very good buying opportunity for us, given that we're actually in an upward trend on this asset and have been ever since the May over here, March. Much before May. We have been ever since March, and we've come in and we've managed to put in highs which are higher than the previous high over here, up here at this point. And in a couple of ways of looking at it, you could say that was done in a rather healthy way. For instance, the MACD, the DMI, the Stochastics, and the RSI expressing no divergence between its two previous highs, this significant high and this significant high, along the way there, and overall us putting in a higher low overall, even if we do, as I was saying, on the Bitcoin pairing, go down at 25,000 Satoshi area, and even here on the dollar pair, if we go down to this purple line here at $2.70, but any movements below that would be incredibly bearish, probably given the overall structure of the market. We'd have to look at how things elsewhere in the market are doing. How's Ethereum going? Check out that video, very good. How's Bitcoin going? Check out that video, very good. How's my cold cup of tea? It's cold, not very good. How's Chainlink doing? It's actually looking more bullish than the other things at the minute, but at the same time, it's kind of uninspiringly bullish. It's not like, massively convincing. In the same way that this has moved outside of its fallen wedge, but also it could just be a parallel channel towards the downside, not entirely convincing. And we're outside of the auspices of this pitchfork that we have in the background. Ever since it's not been an ideal one, really, overall for us. I think what I ought to do is extend this out just so we can see how we're still inside. Where that, what's going on? Is that just a trend line I've chosen? Right, I didn't want a trend line. Move, sorry. Parallel channel. Up here, down to here. And then, so we're still within, the bounds of this thing. I want to see us be supported if we have to in and around the median line of this thing. If that has to be the case, and if we have to go down, then of course, if that has to be the case, I want to see us go no further than this. I want to see us move towards the top side. This pitchfork isn't necessarily in the best place or whatever, but actually, you know what? Let's just rethink about this. Where did I put the starting point on this one? Over here. Instead, let's put the starting point here, this low. Put the swing high here at that one, and the swing low here. No, the swing high, this high, because it was higher. Yeah. Okay, actually, that's a much more functioning pitchfork for us in terms of where we are currently in terms of the price action. So, again, then lining up with where the median line was, like I was hinting at before, this is what's working, and we came up towards the top end of this. Yeah. So this is what I'll look at over the next wee while. Get rid of this thing for now. Don't want to see us moving beyond this orange line, essentially at that $3.25. But if we do, we have to. Okay, there's plenty of trading short in it towards the downside. I obviously do that, by the way, personally. I short this and long it. But I realise that a heck of a lot of the audience is just hodling it and investing, and I'm okay with that. But obviously, this is a channel for traders, so I wouldn't like to be so sort of downbeat saying that there's great shorting opportunities on this thing, because there are. Should we not manage to move above the 350 zone? Now we are right at that zone of this particular area. We could move up. We could sort of get a breakout of what was previously the wedge that we had that I just changed to be in a parallel channel. That all that could happen, but we don't have the volume kicking in quite yet, and it hasn't gone up past these resistance zones on the oscillators down below. I'd look out for that overall. The divergence between the lack of correlation between the price action over here on the HIP BTC chart and the regular one, the non-scammy, actually very scammy exchanges such as Coinbase, massive scam exchange. Really, they're quite negative people. I have an affiliate link down below, earn a tenner, use it, great, nice one. Can't recommend them overall. Bitfinex, you know, they've got a massive tether scam. They're very, very scammy. HitBTC, sure, they're scammy in lots of ways as well. But are they any worse than the others? I don't know if it's fair to call these scammy all the time. Really don't. But anyway, the price action over here works beautifully for us, and we're currently right on this, bang on this line here. Want to see this operate as support, want to see us move out outside of this. We obviously already had it as a parallel channel over here on this one, and then we can look towards certain zones. You know, will we be doing this with any divergence? Well, if we look here, is this divergent? Well, this isn't actually any lower, so you couldn't say that. But is this going to, you know, if this had to come lower while the price action hadn't, then you could have said there was something about that in terms of, you know, like, you know, in terms of these, how these oscillators work. That hasn't happened either. There isn't anything jumping at us as being particularly fantastic, but also there isn't any sort of hidden bearish divergence, or, you know, yeah, there isn't any hidden bearish divergence really on the go either. The MACD is maybe doing that sort of thing here, where this has come lower than the previous one, while we've not really been lower. You know, we've come lower. Is that actually true? No, that's not even true either. No, there isn't anything particularly standing out in terms of any of these oscillators right now from where we're looking at. Can say that we came up here towards this high, and it wasn't, strictly speaking, wasn't bearishly divergent, you know, on these things. Strictly speaking, you know, it wasn't, but it was very, very close. It wasn't exactly impressive price action. You know, this was bearishly divergent just as well. The DMI managed to avoid it. The MACD, you know, managed to avoid it, but just by the skin of its teeth. But we did, you know, so that's okay. And overall, what we have is a higher low overall. Okay, in this chart here, I find it easier probably. If I were, I think there's a lot of respect paid to the technicals over here at HitBTC. So I do look at it from time to time. Failed head and shoulders here, moved towards the top side, came back down, and we've been supported so far at this key area. If we go down below that, we could see prices descend down to that 269 area, which is, you're talking about the $3, $2.90 over there on the regular exchanges. You know, so there's that. It's all to be considered. I'm going to tune out now, actually. No, I'll look at Ethereum. Oh, it's respecting our fuzzy lines perfectly still, is it? Crazy. This zone moving up here towards the fuzzy line again over the next wee while, unless it does it immediately over the period of the next, you know, day to 2 days. Would be moving beyond this downward sloping trend line. So that could be something, a dynamic to look to, but that could also just be that. Movements down the way, we've got two lines, or well, at least one below us, this one, where we could find support there at the sort of 0.077. The next one down would be 0.005. That'd be quite negative. But if the Ethereum prices goes to and then this here goes towards the top side, then, you know, that could be quite good. I wonder what the subtitles say there when I went, if it just thought it was sh, or if it thought it was a swear word, because it wasn't. I didn't say a swear word. So yeah, that's going to do for today. I'm really, you know, like I've pointed out everything. I actually would really highly recommend you watch the previous episodes for maybe, you know, for the last week across the board on all of the assets. You know, I know they last for quite a while, but everything that you need to know is on them, and it's all on public record out there, and you could trade this and make a lot of money. So if you're interested in making money, you can go watch all those videos and you'll know exactly what to do with every single level and every single point at which, if we move past those points, where the next ones are and how that could be bullish, or if we move down past one point, how that could be bearish, etc. All of that's laid out really, really clearly for the last week. So go ahead and do that. And hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. I'm a little bit thinking slightly differently today because I'm in a different room, you know, and so my context has changed. So it's a little bit harder for me to do my episodes than I normally would be. And that's cool. And that's one of the things that we talk about. That's fine. One of the things we talk about on the Discord, you know, because we talk about deep stuff from time to time, such as how to trade more efficiently. And that's a real thing. Here's another thing that you might be interested in. For instance, you know, me and SC Patch yesterday were talking about boats and when they were invented. Now, people forget about this. You know, if I said to you who invented the plane, the Wright brothers, right? You remember that one, quite an easy one. Who invented boats, right? Because before the Wright brothers, there was no planes. Before who was there no boats? Archimedes, right? Because when Archimedes got into his bath and he displaced the water, he figured out how boats work and he invented the science for boats. Before then, there weren't any. And of course, he's a figure from ancient times. And that's why they named the boats after him. The early boats were called arks because it was short for Archimedes, and that's why Noah built an ark. So you know how this all ties together. So there's lots of deep stuff in there. Some of it's just entertainment, some of it's useful facts. You know, you get to decide what it is and join in. Really good place to be. So join that, and if you want, you can help us achieve those targets I spoke about at the top of the show in terms of likes and subscribes. I would really do appreciate it every time someone hits subscribe. And I read every single comment, reply to them, and all that sort of stuff. And I want to give a shout out to Boom Bada, who's the perma bear on Tezos. Reminds me in every single video to, you know, not be doing Tezos. Very funny stuff. Let me just see actually videos for a laugh here. Now I find it funny. I don't know if he's trying to troll me or not. I really don't. But I always see the best in the world, the best in people. Take that off. Where's Boom Bada? Don't do it, Rocky Mountain High. Tezos is a. I'm going to take the heart off because he said that, but you know, because we don't condone sort of bigotry on the show. So really, you know, watch out for that, Boom Bada, or else I'll block you. Okay, so watch out for that. No more bigotry. This is okay. Coin, bruh. No more Tezos. Let's do something that's worthwhile. Got it? Good. You know. Anyway, nice to see how you keep it. Missed you during the price rises. Did you see me giving you a shout out? All the best. No, where? He's asking. Well, it was in previous videos, Boom Bada. You gotta watch the videos, buddy. I only came here when I see you doing Tezos TA. Well, I do Tezos TA daily. You blind fool. So and then did you miss me in between? I bet you did. Anyway, I've got my crystal ball here, which I'm going to go and study right now and open up and see what secrets it has inside, and if I enjoy eating them. What I can learn from looking at them, because I would never eat a crystal ball. That'd be crazy. But yeah, I'm not left-handed, by the way. I'm right-handed, so that's why you can see I'm much better at catching things with my right hand than my left hand. I actually can't juggle, you know. Look and doing this and think I can. I can't juggle. I'll catch you in the next episode. I really do appreciate it. YouTube.com/RockyOutcrop if you want to share it with your friends, which I know you do, because a friend of yours is a friend of mine, and I'm eager to meet them, as is everybody in the channel already. There's 1,499 of us out there. Go on, hit that button. Bring us up to the next level. Let's see if we can hit 50 bazillion subscribers by Monday. That would be cool at minimum. Yeah, great. Nice one. Thanks very much for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. Catch you next time. Ciao.